Established back in 1985 here in merry old England, Rare are one of the most influential companies in gaming history. They are responsible for Donkey Kong as we know him today, Battletoads, Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye 007, Banjo, Goddamn Kazooie. The list goes on. In the 90s, Rare were unbeatable. And then they were purchased by Microsoft in 2002. Many people consider this acquisition to be the end of Rare, claiming that they haven't made anything decent since it happened. And while I can see where these people are coming from, there are two new series I feel they often overlook. 2006's VIVA PIñata, a charming gardening game, and 2018's Sea of Thieves, a piratey action-adventure. God, I wish I was watching a Sea of Thieves show.
It's party time!
Viva Piñata, filled with fun.
Filled with fun!
Enjoy and wow!
As I said before, Viva Piñata is a gardening game. Not a pet simulator as you'd likely imagine. As you grow and develop your garden, the local ecosystem of living piñatas grows and develops in turn, encouraging you to keep playing so you can see what the cute little critters get up to. And being a Rare game, reminder, these people made Conker, said cute critters would usually be eaten by larger predators, murdered, or in the best case scenario, sent to a children's party. To be murdered.
Welcome to picturesque Piñata Island. In its many gardens, all manner of piñatas live, dance, and dream that one day they will be chosen to entertain at a party as only piñatas can. Well, most piñatas, that is.
Oh, fudge!
This gives me the same vibes as the Heaviside layer from Cats the Musical. These piñatas want to be sent on a sacrificial journey to meet their destinies, and I'm left confused about whether or not I should be rooting for that. Like, is this really the culmination of these animals' lives? Do they exist only to be drained of their life essence and discarded? But then again, how is that any different to how we live our lives? We enter this world, we use our time and energy to leave an impact on the next generation, and more often than not, we just end up buried in the ground. Thinking about it, isn't that less impressive than going out in a shower of sweets and confetti? Oh hey! A new area to explore! Ooh, that's neat. Alright, time to murder more piñatas! Let's get back on track. Running for 2 seasons and 104 episodes, and yes, I'm counting each 11-minute segment as a single episode, the Viva Piñata show was created by 4Kids Productions and Bardell Entertainment to tie in with the first game. And airing for the first time on August the 26th, 2006, the show actually predates the game by over 2 months. If not for the fact that it was specifically made to tie into the upcoming game, it wouldn't actually be eligible for VidAMs. But here we are, so strap in. Season 1, Episode 1, Cocoadile Tears. We start off in a dilapidated garden, which has fallen into disrepair due to the lack of any sentient green-thumbed reticules.
Franklin, no!
Okay, well, I've learned something today. Stock cartoon sound effects from the rubber hose animation days? Turns out they don't mesh well with CG animation. I will say that the overall art style and the models being used are accurate to those from the games, but that's because for the most part they are exactly the same models.
Now that's a garden.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Some poems rhyme, but not this one. Oh, good one. Oh, I gotta write that one down. Sweet.
So, to help salvage the garden, the main gang of now sapient piñatas have to seek help from their neighbour, Chortle's Chippopotamus, despite the fact that he is a notoriously unfunny jokester.
Come on in. Maybe I can dig up something for you guys, too. I'm too much.
Okay, it's kinda difficult for me to gauge the comedy writing of this show when episode 1 begins by introducing a purposefully unfunny character.
Which reminds me of a joke.
Incoming!
What did one garden gnome say to the other garden gnome? Love me? You don't even know me!
It's going to be a long night.
Like, every groaner of a joke this Chippopotamus tells is somehow worsened by the repetitive rim shots. But that's also the point, so... yeah, this is a weird way to start your wacky cartoon animal show.
I don't really work all that hard in my garden. It's the Cocoadile Tears that do all the work.
Cocoadile Tears? Really?
The gang attempt to attract a crocodile to their garden, which is very true to the Viva Piñata experience. Most of the game has you trying in vain to attract new animals. Failing this though, they simply accost one named Cecil as he leaves Chortles' house.
My mom told me to always look on the bright side of life.
Is your mother well?
Yes,
Father?
he's okay.
Brothers and sisters?
Fine.
There must be somebody in your family with a condition.
A really sad condition.
My cousin Otto caught a cold.
And what happened?
He got better.
Okay, the standard writing isn't terrible. It's not laugh out loud funny, but it's... wait. Are the gang trying to invoke emotional distress in this crocodile to make him cry? Wow, that's surprisingly fucked up.
It's really sad, bro. Oops.
You dropped your anvil.
The attempts to make Cecil cry grow steadily more violent. So much so that he eventually has no choice but to escape.
Why won't you die?
This plays out like a child-friendly Always Sunny episode, with the entire main cast turning out to be horrible, self-centered people.
Then we did all those terrible things to Cecil for nothing.
And in the spirit of an Always Sunny episode, they end up in the same predicament they started with. Now with the bitter knowledge that their neighbour's awful gags are the key to his success.
Why'd the cookie go to the doctor? 'Cause he felt crummy!
By the way, you know what else is weird for an episode 1? Not naming most of the main cast. Paulie, Fergie, Franklin, Les, Tina, and Teddington. I had to hit the Viva Piñata wiki for most of those names. I mean, I guess it's naturalistic that they'd all be using second-person pronouns when speaking directly to their close friends, but this is the first episode. Even for a procedural show like this one, where you can watch them in any old order, episode 1 is usually where you introduce your characters. Anyways, season 1, episode 2, which plays right after the commercial break, is named Candiosity.
Those of you with a high enough candy level will be sent by a canonada to entertain at a fabulous party.
Here we are going in hard with the cats elements. You know, what with old Deuteronomy here trying to build hype for the murder voyage.
I wonder where they'll send us this time.
This time? What do you mean, this time? Do you survive the parties? If so, how? What is a piñata for if not to be smashed open for its delicious innards? Oh my gosh. Have I been misunderstanding this whole series?
I don't understand how you guys can be all gung-ho about getting beaten by a crazed pack of candy-craving, baseball bat-wielding savages!
No, thank you very much.
Okay, so they are smashed open, and only Paulie and Fergie seem averse to this. Maybe they're reincarnated afterwards? If so, then this is even more like the Heaviside layer than I originally thought.
Now all I gotta do is lay low and not eat. And therefore not fill up with candy. And therefore fail the Candiosity test. And therefore not get sent to a party.
That's just distressing. This seemingly deranged fudge hog is quite rightfully scared of being beaten to death. Not so much that he can resist eating all of the berries growing in his hiding spot, but scared nonetheless.
3 hours to Candiosity metering!
Oh no! 3 hours?
But I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks will alert the licky toad.
Why not just ask the wise old Bonboon to help you? He knows everything. He told me himself.
Okay, let's meet this guy.
Boom shaka laka laka boom shaka boom.
Oh,
Boom,
great
shaka,
and wise
laka,
Bonboon!
laka,
I am but a
boom.
humble pilgrim
Boom shaka laka boom shaka boom.
Huh. I don't know what religion or culture that is goofing on, but don't.
You must follow my directions to the very letter. No questions asked. Just like in that movie with the kid who does karate. The name escapes me.
Wow, this Bonboon really is all-knowing. He's referencing the hit Jaden Smith film, The Karate Kids. 4 years before its release at that. Anyways, the Bonboon tricks Fergie into doing all of his chores, all under the guise of training. This backfires, however, when Fergie finds the Bonboon's hidden stash of candy, mistakenly believes that he's supposed to eat it, and reaches critical thickness.
I'm doomed! Doomed!
Before being launched to his doom, Fergie decides to enjoy one last wafer thin mint. Oh god, don't eat that! Ugh, after making a creosote reference, that is exceptionally gross.
Come back here, you little thief!
Oh, fudge!
And here we move on to the ending credits, complete with the cheesiest Grant Kirkhope song ever written.
If you want to find us, don't you look in the book.
There's a book here on Piñata Island. Come take a look.
Oh yeah!
We're filling up with fun to give your party a swing.
It is also used in the original game though, so points for consistency. Comic Sans, Comic Sans, Comic Sans, Comic Sans! Speaking of music, Season 2 has a new opening theme, and it's much more listenable than Season 1's.
Viva, viva, piñata, yada, yada!
There's a place for everything sweet. Step on the Candiosity meter. Meet all the candy-filled creatures. All piñatas love to dance. Feel the music start to prance.
Oh, white people reggae, you'll always be my guiltiest pleasure.
In its many gardens, all manner
And
of
yes,
piñatas
I did scour the credits looking for a Jamaican musician.
So grab a stick and take a swing. Do the piñata thing. Come to the place where party is king.
Season 2, Episode 1, is a terrible tribute. Maybe this episode will actually focus on Hudson, the main character, apparently. Ugh. I know that dentistry can hurt like a motherfucker, but I don't need my media to remind me of that. Ugh. I'm English and I don't have a dentist. Fucking F's in the chat for me. Okay, now you're actually juggling with my medical phobias. Please stop that. Hell, why not just make the horse pass a kidney stone while you're at it? Just go the full 9 yards. Traumatize me.
Horstachio, hold on to your bicuspids. It's time to relive your past in glorious detail on This Here's Your Life.
Oh. So the dental practice was just a front for this reality TV show you've sprung on him? Because that just begs the question of why the dental torture was necessary. Well, this works out. I wanted to see more of Hudson, and now I can get his whole life story from his bronchial uncle.
I'll always remember his annoying neigh and that great big yellow overbite. So useful for opening cans. And I can still recall the rubber sheets he had to sleep on because he...
Cough drop?
No!
So, in a bid to further embarrass Hudson, they then bring out his high school girlfriends. Wait, that's it? Based on the audience response, she's meant to be repulsive, but she's just a chockstrich with a punk haircut and a choker. A long neck goth GF, if you will. Is that what's supposed to be off-putting about her? Because she looks fine. Like, I'm no furry, nor the bird equivalent, but if I was, I wouldn't say no to her. Like, if I were to rank her along with a bunch of other anthropomorphic bird ladies, she would definitely be at least a C tier.
Ah, that's quite a hole you're digging.
Thanks, Bob.
Do you recognize this sound?
Oh, no. No! It can't be!
Oh, yes, it can, Hudson. It's...
Unable to face his guilty past, Hudson confides in his friends about why he bailed from the surprise talk show. By means of flashback, of course.
See, my first break was as the understudy to a hot young actor, Henderson Horstachio.
Oh, by the way, the production in question was Fiddler on the Hoof. I can't chide them for that. That's the kind of joke I would make.
I don't even know how, but I tripped him. He flew right into the orchestra pit head first.
You can't run from the truth forever. You have to go back and come clean.
Absolutely not! There is simply no way you will ever see me in front of that audience again!
We'll see about that.
Okay, I'm now convinced that Dr. Quackberry there is a reality-warping demon. Change my minds.
I did it! I wanted your part and I tripped you! I ruined your life! I am a sham!
Huh? What are you talking about? You didn't trip me. I jumped.
And so, the truth is finally revealed about what happens.
Chava, Tidal, Spritzer, how fast you've grown!
I had never seen such talent, such pathos, such command of ill-fitting stage beards. I knew right then it was you that belonged up there.
Okay, that visual gag got a legit laugh from me.
And I was gripped with horrible stage fright.
And to end the episode, Hudson and Henderson wrap things up with a vaudevillian musical number. And like the only tolerable parts of Family Guy, it's played completely straight, and it's very charming. I'm genuinely warming up to this.
You know I've always got your back. We truly are a polished act.
We're one.
Year two.
That adds up.
Just a couple of bros to dancing pistachios.
Season 2, Episode 2 is Pester the Piñata, and that is an adult man sucking on a dummy and wearing a bonnet, a bib, and a nappy. There is no way I could be ready for this.
What's this one called, dude?
The Stick 3000. It's the stick of choice to get beaten open with at parties now.
Nice whiz!
Excellent craftsmanship.
Who wants to totally go to town on me with it?
Okay, new information to wrestle with. Do they actually like being smashed open? Is it a source of pleasure for them? The more you explain about the piñata lore, the more it scares me.
Now, is there anything more putrid than a bunch of happy piñatas?
So this is Professor Pester, the best character in both this show and the series overall. He's the leader of the Ruffians, and from a gameplay perspective, a complete and utter fucker who takes joy in destroying your hard work. You know, as the main antagonist of a gardening game should be.
Now dress me in my baby diaper and bib. And they call me crazy. Ha! Now where's my giant egg house? Once I've convinced those pitiful piñatas I'm a real piñata baby, capturing them will be a breeze. Whoever would suspect a sweet, innocent, adorable baby?
So what happened to just smashing them up? You know, with the aforementioned stick. Wait, maybe it really is gratifying for them. Hence why this evil genius has to rely on this weird shit.
Ow! Thanks, Ella. This stick is rocking.
Listen to the thudosity on this one. It's great.
Oh, that's it. Time to evacuate the building. That's the horny alarm. The show is getting too weirdly horny. So, Professor Pester is concussed by the impact of rolling down the hill. And like every cartoon ever, he ends up with amnesia. This is the amnesia episode. That said, the following comedic sequence is really solid.
That was close.
You said it.
What are we hiding from? I
think we lost him.
Who?
We're okay now. He's right behind me, isn't he?
With his memory completely wiped, Pester assumes the role of a baby piñata.
Mommy!
Oh, brother!
Don't you mean son?
What? No! No! Bad horny alarm! You do not go off for that!
You have to be Pester's mommy a little bit longer. At least until we can figure out how to get rid of him.
No! I can't do that!
Come on, he's harmless. Seek! Found you, Mom. Now let's play tag. I'm in!
No, not the stick! That's for the adults only! Fuck. Oh, God damn it. This episode is tainted now. I can't comment on any of it without it being incredibly fucking weird. So Pester, now adamant about being a baby piñata, ends up stropping over his lack of candiosity, which gives Paulie a plan.
Listen, if we can convince Pester he's a party-ready piñata, we can load him into the cannonada and send him so far away from here, he'll never find his way back.
To be honest, this is a foolproof plan. Either he gets sent to a party to be beaten to death, or he's sent to a hospital with type 2 diabetes.
My baby! No!
What you do that for?
Mother's instinct. It just kicked in.
So, at the worst possible time, Fergie grows emotionally attached to his adopted man baby. I can't take this episode seriously. I can't even synopsize it anymore. This episode is fucking great. After being slapped back to reality, Fergie is ready to send Pester off, only for the ruffians to turn up and cause some chaos. There's a trope I really hate in amnesia episodes where the lost memory is brought back by another concussive hit, based on some bizarre belief that more brain damage is the cure for brain damage. But this episode takes that idea and takes it to such an extreme that it becomes genuinely hilarious.
Mommy! Get them! Feed me! Kidnap them! Hug them! I hate you, piñatas! I love you, piñatas! Butter! Margarine!
I have a funny feeling that any episode featuring Professor Pester is a good one. If you're going to visit this show yourself, that is my recommendation. Just watch the Pester episodes. And let me know in the comments if I'm right in that assumption. And for the final episode, we have Season 2, Episode 52, Masters of Klutz Fu. It feels like there should be a piñata pun in there, but after 102 episodes, you probably run out of those. This one begins with a Pretztail named Petunia absolutely beating the shit out of numerous challengers in her fighting dojo. I wasn't expecting an anime tournament arc, but here we are. Wow, she just murdered them. That was their blood for all intents and purposes. Intent on learning Petunia's way so they can defend themselves at parties, Paulie and Fergie seek training from her.
Welcome to humble abode. You like peace Japanese candy? You wanna learn piñata martial art? I can teach you nothing. I practice the art of Petunia Fu. Must take great care of house. Very important. Been in family for generations. Sayonara!
I did this one. This one was my fault. After reviewing 2 anime series in a row, my prompt this week was not Japanese, which I didn't realise means that we instead get incredibly racist depictions of Japanese people, and by white actors no less. Not only is this not the first time I've encountered this on VidAMs, but this is a show from 2006, this century, and it was created in part by a company who are infamous for bastardizing and wiping all references to Japanese culture from the anime they dub. Does it get any better?
I am most honored to fight Master of House.
I am most honored to fight Master of House. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
Please honor humble Petunia by being my teacher.
Really?
Of course not, dear, you cretinous clods.
Nope, okay, this episode goes into the trash, and we are finished now. Oh, wait, what's that? What impact did the show have on the game series? Good question, let's talk about that instead. During the show's 3-year run, the rest of the Viva Piñata games were all released. Based entirely on the TV show, 2007's Party Animals was a Chrome-developed party game, and the worst in the series. But some elements from the show were used again for Trouble in Paradise, which is the best game in the series, so I guess it evens out. Hey, you see this? This is the last Rare game developed for a Nintendo console back in 2008. For those of you who were wondering why Banjo in Smash was such a huge deal, here's why. And that is Viva Piñata. At first, I was dreading going into this because, you know, it's clearly aimed at younger audiences and I don't have any nostalgia for it. But around Season 2, it began to pleasantly surprise me, showing a few sparks of genuine brilliance. And then the final episode happened, and I'm still kind of in shock. Thanks for watching, everyone. Here's hoping you enjoyed the funny cartoon animals. And an extra special thank you to my patrons: Anonymous, Dan Brown, Fitzwilliam Ramsbottom, Pixel Pusher, Pokepal, Shameboy, and Thomas Walker. Have a good one, everybody.